So I've been talking about this fire down in Maui, down in Lahaina for a few weeks now. We've gone over all of the details. We've heard from countless people who were affected by the flames. We have taken a look at most of the failures that happened that day. We've talked about the roadblocks a lot. We've talked about how they shut the water off. We've talked about how they didn't sound the alarm and, sound the sirens in the area. I've made videos about all of that, multiple videos. We've heard from multiple people about all of that. We know that the government, that the elected officials in the area, that they failed these people every step of the way. I look at the decisions that are made, and it's hard for me to believe that they were just stupid mistakes. It just looks like all of this was done on purpose. I can't imagine a grown adult making the decisions that were made in Maui and in Lahaina that day. So, unlike a lot of the disasters and catastrophes that we see, when looking at what happened in Lahaina, we could pinpoint a few people. We can pinpoint certain officials. We could look at certain companies and we can really point the fingers at them as if they're to blame. Because I feel like the governor failed these people, the mayor failed these people, the police chief, law enforcement all around, the firefighters, everything. I know that in a lot of disasters, we like to sit here and commend our first responders, but in this situation, I can't commend any of them. They failed these people. They followed orders that didn't make sense, that led to the deaths of hundreds of people. At least that's what we believe. Yet the death toll is still sitting at 115, oddly enough. But we know that a lot of these people are to blame for what happened. And none of them want to take accountability. None of them want to step up and admit their failures. And the governor of Hawaii, Josh Green, in a recent little press conference, he was asked to do just that. To acknowledge some of the mistakes that were made. And here's what he had to say.
I just was writing this list of the very things that you just said. All of these things were known, the risk was known before. And the failure to prevent, the failure to plan, the failure to manage even the laws that we had on the books, the failure to respond as the conditions changed that day, the failure to act quickly when the spark had struck. And I think that what we're hearing from viewers is that at this stage, a month out, are there things for which the public deserves an official apology from someone for all of these things being missed and leading to this thing?
Look, I can't speak to when people will apologize for this tragedy. I mean, I'm heartbroken, and I will tell you, and anyone out there, I am so sorry that you went through this. Of course, I'm just one person, okay? It's the world that has to apologize for what we have become, which is we have become a world where we turned our backs on global warming and we didn't prioritize things in advance. Now, let me give you an example.
So instead of taking any accountability, instead of stepping up and apologizing for some of the decisions that were made, as you know, someone in his position, he should even be stepping up and apologizing on the behalf of other people who aren't there, because he's the governor of Hawaii. Sometimes you got to take some on the chin for other people when you're in a leadership role. A good leader will take that blame. All right? And I'm not saying that he's solely to blame for what happened, but a good leader would absorb a lot of that blame. But he's not trying to do any of that. Instead of giving a sincere apology, instead of admitting his faults and the faults of others, he says that the world owes Hawaii an apology. For ignoring climate change, the world owes them an apology. He doesn't owe anyone an apology. The police chief who blocked the roads, the police officers who blocked the roads, the water management guy who decided not to allow them to use water to put out the flames, they don't owe anyone an apology. No, the world owes Hawaii an apology because of climate change. How disrespectful is that? How bogus and nonsensical is that? How asinine do you have to be to step foot up there in front of these people, knowing that you're on camera, knowing that this clip is going to be shared, knowing that you're on the news, you resort to blaming climate change? Oh, the world owes us an apology. It's y'all's fault what happened. It's not my fault. It's not my fault for failing my community. It's not our fault for making all of these terrible decisions. It's not our fault for purposely sending people to Front Street to die. It's y'all's fault because you ignored climate change. Now, when you hear comments like that, I hope you really pay attention and let it sink in. Really think about how radicalized these people have become behind this climate change narrative. You know, people who become radicalized behind certain agendas, they do questionable things to, like, for example, fake hate crimes. Jussie Smollett, he wanted racism to be viewed as a bigger deal than what a lot of people viewed it. So he created this fake hate crime to make it look as if people are more racist and that America's more racist than it really is. Same thing goes with these people. When they see, oh, they're not taking climate change seriously, we got to take matters into our own hands. We got to create disasters. We got to make disasters worse so they believe in what we believe in. A lot of these people are so brainwashed by this climate change nonsense that they will do some horrible things thinking in their mind that it's in the name of the greater good. For example, I'll set the community on fire and allow it to burn to the ground and we'll blame it on climate change. And I know that's bad, but this will prevent people from doing what they're doing. They'll take climate change more seriously. Therefore, we won't have to worry about real climate change fires in the future. We're going to create our own disasters so people take climate change seriously. Therefore, we don't have to deal with real climate change disasters in the future. That's how crazy a lot of these people are. And when you see them spewing that nonsense, I mean, you really got to be, I don't know if these people are crazy, if these people are just evil, but to sit there and blame this situation on climate change, regardless if you think climate change is real or not, I don't care if you've bought all the way into climate change. I feel bad for you, but okay, cool for you, good. That doesn't change what happened in Lahaina. That doesn't change the fact that these people did some really shady stuff. And all of these people, you know, who preach all this climate change nonsense, in reality, the majority of them don't even care about that stuff. It's a tactic used to scare you and control you as they continue living their lives and doing whatever they want to do. All right? If these people were so worried about climate change, why are they buying all of this land in Maui? Why are they worried about having, you know, oceanfront property in Lahaina? Shouldn't that be underwater if climate change is real? If climate change is real, why do all of these rich people keep buying houses on islands? Why do they keep wanting to live on the coast? Why do they have so much property in Miami? Why are they buying up all the property in Hawaii? Isn't it going to be underwater? The same people who preach this stuff to you, they preach, oh, the ocean's rising and this is sinking. And then they go buy freaking land in Lahaina right on the ocean. I mean, if you can't see that these people are hypocrites, then I don't know what to tell you, because it's so blatantly obvious. It's so right there in your face. But like I said, regardless, even if you're one of those people that you buy into the climate change stuff, can you really sit here in good faith and listen to what this governor has to say? Like, honestly, if you really know what happened in Maui that day, if you really know what happened in Lahaina, you know that climate change had nothing to do with the decisions that were made. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Climate change did not block all of the escape routes. Climate change didn't turn the water off. In fact, they turned the water off because of climate change. Okay? We can't put out fires with this water right now because of climate change and equity. We can use this water to water the grass down the street at the golf course, but we can't use it to put out fires because it's bad for climate change. It's all stupid. It's all stupid. This whole area probably wouldn't even have been as dry as it was if it was getting the water that it needed. But they can't water certain areas. Certain areas can't get as much water because of climate change and equity. It's all nonsense. It's all nonsense. And I find it insulting that he continues to run with that narrative. Because before you get down the line to blaming climate change, we got a whole list of names. We got a whole lot of people that we could place the blame on. They want you to blame random stuff. Oh, blame this invisible climate change. It's climate change's fault. So you don't ever look at them. So you don't ever blame them. Imagine blaming climate change when you know what the governor did and what the police chief did and what all of these other officials did down there. It's so crazy to me. But let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all soon in the next video.